Good morning, ladies. So many ladies here. I am in awe, completely. The last time I was addressing a crowd, about 2 months ago, it was an audience full of French bankers. Let me tell you, that was a very different experience. I think there's one woman there, and I figured she was probably, I didn't figure, but she pretty much told me that she was the assistant for the crowd. So anyway, here I am, addressing women here. Let me first state that I'm very honored to be here today to share with you a little bit of my life experience. Let me also thank the organizers of Women at Frontier and Saluna for their kind consideration and invitations. Actually, when I first received the invitations a month ago, I thought, wow, what an excellent timing. I will be coming for the first time to Tel Aviv to address women, to speak to women, at the same time when 3 of the most powerful nations in the world are run by women. Britain is ruled by Prime Minister Theresa May, Germany by Chancellor Merkel, and I will be addressing this distinguished crowd only a few weeks after my fellow Americans shattered the highest glass ceiling and elected the first female president of the United States. Well, unfortunately, as we all know, that did not quite happen. America has overcome its many past aspects and was able to elect an African-American man as the president. However, Americans are yet to elect a woman. Clearly, there's a long way ahead of us. But I'm not here to whine and cry. Yes, we have to strive much harder than men to get to where we want to be. But that is what we used to anyhow. We're right back where we were. So what is so special about my life that you may ask, that I was offered this podium to share with all of you? On the surface, I live a very charming life. I'm a mother of 3 wonderful boys and the wife of a diplomat. But instead of accepting the obvious, attending large receptions, and there are many, trust me, participating in bridge games or mahjong games in Shanghai, or hosting grand tea parties, I chose differently. I chose to found my own company, and it is this choice and benefit and some of its tolls that I want to talk to you about today. My company, Huaxin Finance, is one of the most cutting-edge fintech company in China, valued close to $100 million in 2006, only 3 years after its initial incorporation. We combined sophisticated data analytics, advanced technology, and profound local market know-how to assist small, medium enterprises with their financial needs. You may ask, how did I get to where I am? Was it easy? Do I have a formula for success? And the short answer would be no, it's difficult. Like anyone, man or woman, who cares deeply about her or his family, the road is full of ups and downs, sacrifices and compromises. But before I say anything else, let me state that being a woman is not a weakness in the private business world. I believe it is an advantage instead. As I can tell you from my own personal experience, courage and perseverance will get you where you want to be. So let me share with you a little bit of my life journey. My early life is a journey from post-Cultural Revolution China to first-generation immigrants to the United States, to a Wharton MBA, to a corporate executive, to a wife of a diplomat moving from country to country. So to sum it up, I'm a Chinese woman with an American upbringing, married to a diplomat, well-educated at one of the most elite business schools in the world, with burning ambition to excel in my profession. I think it's a good recipe for an early schizophrenia. Now, diversified and interesting as that may sound, the most exciting part of my life started with my journey back to the place of my birth, China. China was truly the frontier for many industries, including financial services, at the turn of the millennium. Market was new, untapped, and thinly regulated. In 2006, Chinese regulators opened the banking sector to allow foreign entries. Based on my financial services industry experience in the United States and my wide experience in developing market in Central Europe, I figured China is the perfect place for me to be. With my language advantage and my previous work experience, I chose a bank that offered me the biggest portfolio and started my journey back to China. Now, this is not a choice without sacrifice. My two older boys were only 6 and 4 at the time. My husband and I have decided that working in China may offer me the biggest opportunity. As I started my new journey, he took both boys with him to Canada, to his new diplomatic post. This decision started a 2-year-long monthly commute between Shanghai and Toronto, and let me tell you, that's tough. I loved my work. It was truly exciting to be trailblazer in a new market. We became the first and largest unsecured consumer lending business in China within 6 months. I built an entire new business line on my own. Needless to say, it wasn't mine to own. I was back in my motherland. I was an integral part of the corporate world. I held a senior position, and I was fortunate enough to have a competitive advantage in a place and an industry that was waking up after so many years. It seems like I had it all. However, I missed my family. The life my husband and I chose took a toll on him and, of course, the kids. I knew that things were troubled when my oldest boy was failing his first grade reading class. We realized that this lifestyle is just not sustainable. I quit my work and moved to Canada to join my family. However, my China dream did not die there, because if I was able to build a successful line of business, why can't I own my own business? That was a question I had, and that was a question always in my mind. Now, a few years and 1 more baby boys later, we started our next phase of China adventure. This time, we planned big. We decided to move the entire family to China. In the summer of 2011, we enrolled kids in a new school in Shanghai. My husband put his career on hold and moved to China with me. I started Huazhen Finance. My God, did I regret my decision to go into business on my own in China? Many, many, many times. It is the toughest market, but I persevered. Pretty soon, I realized owning private business suits women much better. It offers us a better chance to add self-fulfillment and success. Going through the ranks in the corporate world and being a major part of one taught me that big corporations are geared towards men, and women have to play by the rules created by men for men. There are reasons there are very few of us at the top level at large corporations in the world. Now, I heard prior coming to Israel, the Israel First National Bank just nominated a woman as its chairwoman. I also heard that gender concerns were very much part of the headline. Unfortunately, this only proves that no matter how talented we are, we still have a long way to go until this kind of nomination will be treated equally between men and women. Now, these are the disadvantages of the corporate world. Private business, on the other hand, be it owning your own fintech company, your small bakery, or the biggest, most successful woman website in Israel. Yes, I'm talking about Saluna. It's so much more suited for women. It does not only require us to use what we are good at, but most importantly, it gives us the freedom to choose. You can choose to offer superb financial services and attract investors and clients alike. You can choose to bake the best bread and cake, and people will line up at your store. You can choose to provide the best content, and your website will become #1 with over 1.5 million unique users a month. The last thing customers care about is the gender of its provider. Now, if you take China as an example, I can tell you the gap between women participation in corporate and political world versus women owning a business is even more radical. On one hand, from the 90s, the number of women in high management and political position has dropped compared to the rest of the world. But on the other hand, just as an example, 65% of all online business in China are owned by women. That's a great number. We're just so damn good at building our own business and running our own business, aren't we? As from my own experience, I still remember a meeting I had in Shanghai with a partner of a leading VC firm when trying to raise money for my company. Now, in the midst of the conversation, he turned to me and asked, "How are you going to manage a startup company and look after 3 boys at the same time?" Then he continued, "What if your husband have to leave his current diplomatic post? Will you follow him?" Then he added, "I know this is not fair. I would never ask you this question if you were a man." Now, I love an in-your-face discrimination. At least I give you the chance to address the issue and not dance around it. My answer to him was that being a woman, a wife, a mother to 3 boys, a business owner, I truly have the skill and experiences to juggle multiple tasks at the same time. Now, if he wants to see good return for his investment, this is the skill sets he should be looking for. After all, he did invest in my company and made a lot of money. So I guess he doesn't ask silly questions like this anymore to women entrepreneurs. My company services many businesses that are owned and run by women. I remember one particular lady requesting a loan from us. She was a single mother with not even high school education. With her level of schooling and being a woman, her future is bleak. She will be stuck in an entry-level position for life. Instead, she started her own business, starting with a small counter in a mall selling phone accessories. When I met her, her company has a sales turnover of $250 million USD, selling electronics across 3 provinces. She's really sharp. You know, I'm pretty good with numbers, but she was even better. She was able to tell me ROI, every single line of her product line, even though I highly doubt she knows the book definition of what ROI is. She was just as smart. Instead of being stuck in a dead-end job, she created a brighter future for her child and herself. In many ways, she's an inspiration to me. She's an example of how much our destiny is in our own hands. In the future, I would like to see more women like her who dreams big, take the leap of faith, and set up their own private business. Now, yes, running a business, let alone building it, is both time and emotionally consuming. It requires us to use every inch of what we have and then some more. But isn't using every inch of what we have and then some more exactly what we do anyway in our daily lives, be it in the corporate world or be it in our households? Isn't using every inch of what we have and then some more what generations upon generations of women have been doing throughout the journey and history? We're built to always find solutions and persevere, and that makes us the ultimate entrepreneur. Let's use fully the sets of skills that we have, and most importantly, let's put it in the right direction for the benefit of our families and the benefit of ourselves. Thank you.